Hello, my name is Yair Paz, and this is my submission for my presentation for CSC 350. And for my presentation, it was assigned example 1. And in this example, we have to prove that A or not A is a tautology. And to prove that this is a tautology, we're going to use the proof rules. So I'm going to go through these steps to prove this. And we have our one-point formula, which is A, or negation of A. And I'm going to use a real-life scenario to make this one-point formula understandable. And we can say that now A is, after we take clothes out of a dryer machine, they could either be wet, we have our or they could be not wet. So we're going to go to line 1. And in line 1, we have the negation of A or not A, which is just a premise for our original one-form formula. So line 1 could be, we can say that it is not wet or not wet. In line 2, we have the negation of A, which is just a premise for A. Then we go into line 3, and we have A or a negation of A, which what we did here in line 3 is that we went to line 2 and we used the addition rule from the assumption that the negation of A, we can logically add A or to not A, because the disjunction is true if one of the components is true. So now we look at line number 4, and line 4 says that it's false. And we can say that this is false because if we look at line 1 and line 3, they're contradicting each other. So it's false. And we're going to use a real life scenario. So we have here line 1, and this is line 3. As you can see, it's saying that our clothes are either wet or not wet for line 3. And for line 1, it's saying that our clothes are not wet or not wet. Which, as we can see, these two one-form formulas are logically different. So now we're going to go to line 5, and we have in line 5A, which is just an indirect proof from lines 2 to 4. And the indirect proof rule says that from the negation of A, we derive false, and we get A. So this is what we used in line 5. Now we go to line 6, and in line 6 we have A or not A, which is saying wet or not wet if we view it from our real life scenario. So we get this after taking line 5, and we use the addition rule from the assumption that that A can logically add or not A, because the disjunction is true if one of the components is true. So now we look at lines 1 and 6, and we can say that line 7 is false because lines 1 and 6 are contradicting each other. So one of them would a contradiction means that they're not the same. One could be false, and one of them could be true. So the contradiction rule says that A or not A is false. So either if we have two premises A and the negation of A, These are two totally different premises, so these is false. So now we have proved that A or not A is a tautology. And we use lines 1 and lines 5 to 7 to prove this with indirect proof, which is saying that from not A, we derive false, and we get A.